The adoption papers were already on our kitchen table when I found the paternity test hidden in her jewelry box. Probability of biological relationship, 0%. I'm standing here now, holding both documents, and I can still smell her vanilla perfume on the papers. She'd sprayed them, like she always did with important mail. Like this was something to celebrate. The coffee mug in my other hand reads, "World's Best Dad." Sarah gave it to me last Father's Day, talking about the family we'd build together. My hands shaking so bad, coffee splashing onto the adoption forms, making the ink run. But the most important words stay clear. Petition for husband to adopt non-biological child. But the adoption papers on our table weren't for a rescue dog. 3 hours ago, this was a perfect morning. I'd woken up early to make Sarah breakfast. She'd been having morning sickness since coming back from Vegas 2 months ago. That girl's trip with her sister. The one she'd posted all those casino photos from. The one where she'd called me every night at exactly 11, right before bed. Always from the hotel room. Always sounding tired from all the fun. The morning sunlight streaming through our kitchen window, hitting our wedding photo on the wall. We looked so young in it, so certain. Sarah in that dress her mother had worn. Me in my grandfather's cufflinks. For better or worse, we'd said. I guess we're about to test what worse really means. If you've ever felt something was off, like the world shifted while you weren't looking, you know this feeling, that cold certainty creeping up your spine. I found the paternity test by accident. Sarah's jewelry box, the mahogany one I'd given her for our 5th anniversary, had been left open on her dresser. She never leaves it open. Never. Inside, beneath the pearl necklace from our honeymoon, beneath the engagement ring she'd been getting resized for 3 months, was a medical envelope, folded twice, hidden. The logo was from a private lab 2 towns over, not our usual medical center, the kind of place you go when you don't want records in your regular files. Probability of paternity, 0.00%. Subject A, Sarah Mitchell. Subject B, male donor, insufficient sample for identification. Subject C, fetus, approximately 8 weeks gestation. My brother's name was listed as emergency contact. The room spins. I have to grab the dresser. Marcus, my younger brother Marcus, who'd been having car trouble the week Sarah was in Vegas. Who'd needed to borrow my truck because his was in the shop. Who'd been so interested in helping us plan the nursery last week, suggesting colors, offering to help paint. The plane tickets are easy to find. She keeps everything in the same filing cabinet we bought at IKEA 3 years ago. Vegas, yes, but the return date is wrong. She came back 2 days later than she'd told me. 2 days when I was at that conference in Portland, when Marcus was supposedly helping his buddy move apartments. The hotel receipt is there too, tucked behind the tickets, the Venetian, room 1247, but there's a handwritten note on it. Room upgrade to suite, 2 keys issued. Her sister, Lisa, lives in Phoenix. I call her now, my voice surprisingly steady. Hey, David, how's my favorite brother-in-law? Lisa, quick question. That Vegas trip in August, what hotel did you guys stay at? Vegas trip? What Vegas? Oh, wait. Sarah told you we went to Vegas? David, I was in Miami that week for a work conference. I invited Sarah, but she said she couldn't travel because of some stomach bug. Is everything okay? The phone falls from my hand. It cracks against our hardwood floor, the floors we'd refinished ourselves last summer on our hands and knees, laughing about growing old together. Sarah's car pulls into the driveway. The familiar sound of her Honda, that slight squeal of the brakes she keeps saying she'll get fixed. The car door slams, her heels on the walkway, those red ones I bought her for Christmas. Click, click, click. Like a countdown, she comes in humming, actually humming. Some pop song from the radio. Her purse lands on the counter with that familiar thump, keys in the bowl. Routine, normal, like the last 10 years of marriage are still intact. David, you're home early. I have the most amazing news. She stops, sees me, sees the papers in my hands, the coffee stains spreading across them like blood. Sarah, why do you have those? Those were supposed to be a surprise for what? For when? For after I'd signed them thinking we were adopting a child who needed a home? Instead of your affair, baby? Her face. God, her face. It goes white, then red, then white again. Her hand goes to her stomach, protective, instinctive. That tells me everything. David, it's not... You don't understand. Let me explain. The paternity test was under your pearls, the ones I gave you in Hawaii. She sinks into the kitchen chair, her chair, the one closer to the window. The one where she drinks her coffee every morning, scrolling through her phone. The one where she must have sat while texting him. My brother, Marcus. How long? David, how long? It wasn't supposed to happen. That's not what I asked. She's crying now. Not the pretty tears from romantic comedies. Ugly crying. Snot and smeared mascara. The kind of crying that changes the shape of your face. The whole week. In Vegas, it was the whole week. The ultrasound photo is on the fridge, held by a magnet from our trip to Niagara Falls. Baby Mitchell, 8 weeks. I'd been carrying it in my wallet, showing guys at work. Going to be a dad, I'd said, proud. They'd bought me drinks, slapped my back. Marcus, I don't even recognize my own voice. She nods, can't speak, won't look at me. The credit card statements are in the same filing cabinet. I pull them out while she watches. August charges, the Venetian, yes, but also charges I hadn't noticed. Restaurants for 2, a couple's massage at the spa, a jewelry store, $500. The same weekend I was in Portland presenting that quarterly report I'd worked on for months. Did you plan it? The Vegas trip? Getting pregnant? No, God, no. David, I love you. I love our life. It just happened. Things don't just happen for a whole week, Sarah. You made choices. Every morning you chose him. Every night you chose him. You weren't there. You're never there. Always working, always... I was working to pay for this house, for the IVF treatments we'd been discussing, for the family you said you wanted with me. She stands up, suddenly angry. The switch is jarring. Well, now we can have a family. The baby needs a father, and you've always wanted children. This solves everything. Solves... Sarah, do you hear yourself? Marcus doesn't want anything to do with it. He made that clear. But you're good, David. You're stable. You'd be an amazing father. She said the baby deserved a father who wouldn't ask questions. The neighbor's dog is barking. Mrs. Chen from next door is probably walking him. Life continuing normally outside while mine implodes in this kitchen we renovated together, where we talked about teaching our kids to cook, about Sunday pancakes and birthday cakes. Get out. David, please, think about this rationally. The baby is innocent. We can make this work. Lots of couples don't fuck each other's brothers. I've never used that word with her before. Never raised my voice like this. She flinches. Where am I supposed to go? I don't care. Marcus has a place, or did you already know that? How many times has he been here when I wasn't? How many times in our bed? It was never here. Never in our... Get out. She grabs her purse, those red heels clicking again. At the door she turns. The baby is due in April. You have until then to come to your senses. The door closes. The house is silent except for the coffee maker still gurgling, still making that second pot I always prepare for when she wakes up. I look at the adoption papers again. She'd already filled in most of it. My name, my social security number, everything but my signature. Like she was so sure I'd just go along with it. So sure I'd choose the lie over the truth. The wedding photo is watching me from the wall. That young couple who thought they knew what love meant, what commitment meant. I turn it face down. My phone buzzes. A text from Marcus. We need to talk. It wasn't just one night. It was the whole week. 3 days. Sarah's been gone 3 days, and now Marcus is at my door. I can see him through the peephole, shifting his weight, running his hand through his hair the way he always does when he's nervous. He's holding something, a gift bag, blue, with teddy bears on it. I open the door but don't step aside. David, come on, let me in. We're brothers. We're. Don't be like that. We need to discuss this like adults. He pushes past me. That cologne, Tom Ford, the one I bought him last Christmas, fills my entrance. The same scent that's been lingering in my bedroom. Now I know why. He sets the gift bag on my coffee table, the table Mom gave us, inherited from her mother. 4 generations of family gatherings around this wood, and now this. What's in the bag, Marcus? Just some things for the baby. Look, David, this situation... I pull out the contents. A stuffed elephant, tiny blue booties, a onesie that reads Future All-Star, a silver rattle with the letter J engraved on it. J? For Jason. It's what I'd name him. If he was mine, which he's not going to be. He brought a stuffed bear for his baby. You picked out a name for the child you made with my wife. And now you're here to what? Hand him off like a used car? Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Sarah and I, it was a mistake. A week of insanity. But you two have been trying for kids for years. This could be a blessing in disguise. A blessing? You fuck my wife and call it a blessing. Mom's calling. I can see her picture on my phone screen, the one from her 70th birthday last month, where she's standing between Marcus and me, so proud of her boys. I let it go to voicemail. She knows, doesn't she? Mom knows. Marcus looks away. Sarah needed someone to talk to. Our mother already knew. She'd known for weeks. The room tilts. I have to sit down. The couch cushions still have the indent from where Sarah used to curl up, reading her books, feet tucked under her. How many people know, Marcus? How many people have been looking at me, the idiot husband, while knowing? Just Mom, and maybe Aunt Rita, and Sarah's mother. They all think you should... Get out. David, get out. He stands, straightens his shirt, always so concerned with appearance. At the door, he turns. She's at Mom's, you know. Sarah, crying every day. Mom's taking care of her, making sure she's eating, taking her prenatal vitamins. The baby is your problem, not mine. Actually, legally, that's not true. The door slams behind him. The gift bag sits on the table like evidence at a crime scene. The lawyer's office smells like old leather and disappointment. Richard Brennan, Esquire. Came recommended by my colleague Tom, who went through his own divorce last year. The desk between us is mahogany, polished to a mirror shine. I can see my distorted reflection in it, hollow eyes, 3-day stubble. So, Mr. Mitchell, you said on the phone this was urgent. I slide him the paternity test, the adoption papers, the whole mess of it. He reads quietly, occasionally making notes on a yellow legal pad with a Mont Blanc pen. The scratch of ink on paper is the only sound. Finally, he sets down the pen, removes his glasses, and looks at me with something between pity and professional concern. I need to be very clear with you, Mr. Mitchell. In this state, there's a presumption of paternity for married couples. Meaning? Meaning, legally, any child born to your wife during your marriage is presumed to be yours. The birth certificate will list you as the father automatically. But the DNA test doesn't matter unless you take specific legal action within a limited time frame. Even then, the court's primary concern is the best interest of the child that isn't mine. The child that is legally yours unless you actively contest it. And even then, if you've acted as the father, attended appointments, bought baby items, told people you're expecting, the court might still rule against you. In this state, the husband is presumed the father. This is insane. She cheated. With my brother, there's proof. I understand your frustration, but family law isn't about punishment. It's about providing for children. If you contest paternity, you'll need to do it before the birth. Once your name is on that birth certificate, it becomes exponentially harder. And if I divorce her, you could still be liable for child support, 18 years of it, maybe 21 if the child goes to college. The pen he's been fidgeting with, expensive, heavy, won't write when he tries to make another note. He pulls out another one. Cheaper, plastic, it works immediately. Sometimes the expensive things are just for show. What if the biological father wants to claim the child? Your brother? Yes. Is he willing to? In writing? Because unless he actively pursues paternity rights, the court won't force it on him. He made it clear he wants nothing to do with it. Then you have a decision to make, Mr. Mitchell, and I suggest you make it soon. My phone hasn't stopped buzzing. Sarah's mother, Patricia, has called 17 times. Finally, I answer. David, thank God, we need to discuss this situation rationally. There's nothing to discuss, Patricia. Don't be stubborn. Sarah made a mistake, yes, but marriages survive worse. My own father had an affair, and my parents stayed together for 43 years after. Did your mother raise his affair baby? Silence. Then, that's different. How? The child needs a father, David. You can't punish an innocent baby for the sins of its parents. I'm in the garage now, looking at all the baby stuff we'd already bought. The crib still in its box. The changing table I was going to assemble this weekend. The paint samples Sarah had taped to the wall. Safari dreams, gentle rain, circus parade. Patricia, did you know? When Sarah came back from Vegas, did you know? A pause. Too long. She was confused, scared. She needed her mother. And you didn't think I needed the truth? I thought it would work itself out. These things usually do. She called me selfish for not thinking of the baby. I'm hanging up now, Patricia. David, wait, there's something else. Sarah's been having complications, spotting. The doctor says it's stress-related. If you don't come home, if you don't make this right and something happens to that baby... I hang up. The paint samples flutter in the breeze from the open garage door. Circus parade. She'd love that one. Said it was happy without being aggressive. Perfect for a child's room. We'd stood here just last week planning. Marcus had been with us, suggesting we go with something more neutral. You never know, he'd said. Might be a boy. He knew. He knew it was his, and stood here helping us plan a nursery for his child that I'd raise. I'm in what would have been the nursery now. Second bedroom, facing the backyard where I'd planned to build a swing set. The crib is still in its box, leaning against the wall. Sarah had already started decorating. A mobile with elephants and giraffes hangs from the ceiling, spinning slowly in the air from the heating vent. There's a shopping bag in the corner I hadn't noticed before. From that boutique baby store downtown, the expensive one Sarah loved to browse. Inside, tiny shoes not much bigger than my thumb, a dress with strawberries on it, a book, Guess How Much I Love You, with a note stuck to it in Sarah's handwriting for Daddy to read at bedtime. The wallpaper samples are all circus animals, innocent. I sit on the floor, back against the wall, holding those impossibly small shoes. Someone will wear these. Someone will take first steps in them. Someone will call out Daddy and mean someone else, or worse, mean me while knowing it's a lie. My phone buzzes. Sarah's texting me. The baby could be a girl. I thought you'd want to know. The doctor thinks it's too early to tell for sure, but she has a feeling. Then, I always pictured you teaching our daughter to ride a bike. Then, please come home. Then, I'm sorry. Then, it didn't mean anything. Then, you mean everything. Then, the baby needs you. I don't respond, can't respond. The little shoes in my hands blur as my eyes water. Not for Sarah, not for Marcus, not even for me. For this child who didn't ask for any of this, who's floating in the dark right now, unaware that their entire existence is built on betrayal. But that doesn't make it my responsibility. Does it? The second DNA testing lab is 40 miles away. Different company. Different process. I need to be sure. Maybe the first test was wrong. Maybe there's a chance, however small, that this is all a mistake. The technician is young, efficient, kind, without being pitying. She's seen this before. We'll need a sample from you and ideally from the mother and fetus, but we can work with just yours for a preliminary comparison against the previous results. How accurate is this? DNA doesn't lie, Mr. Mitchell. If you're not the father, we'll know. If you are, we'll know that too. I give blood. She says results will take 3 to 5 business days. I pay extra for expedited processing. While I wait, I sit in my truck in the parking lot. The same truck Marcus borrowed during Sarah's Vegas trip. There's a receipt in the glove box I hadn't noticed before from a flower shop. 2 dozen roses. The date matches Sarah's return from Vegas. He bought her flowers with my truck while I was at a conference. 3 days later, the call comes. Mr. Mitchell, we have your results. And the previous test was accurate. Probability of paternity is 0%. You are definitively not the biological father. I tested myself twice. Both came back the same. I thank her. Hang up. Sit in the silence of my empty house. The wedding album is still on the coffee table where I'd been looking through it last night, trying to find the moment it all went wrong. Was it when I took that promotion that required more travel? When we couldn't conceive naturally? When I introduced her to Marcus at that family barbecue 5 years ago? The marriage counselor's office is neutral beige. Everything about Dr. Jennifer Walsh screams carefully orchestrated calm. Sarah's already there when I arrive, sitting in the chair furthest from the door. Strategic, making me walk past her to sit down. Thank you both for coming, Dr. Walsh begins. I understand this is a difficult situation. Difficult? I laugh, actually laugh. Is that what we're calling it? Sarah's been crying. Her eyes are red, puffy. She's lost weight. Her cheekbones are sharper than I've ever seen them. Her hand keeps going to her stomach. David, Sarah has explained the circumstances. What would you like to share about how you're feeling? How I'm feeling? I'm feeling like my wife fucked my brother and wants me to raise the baby. How should I be feeling? There's no should in this room. Only what is. Sarah leans forward. David, please, I know you're hurt. Hurt? You think this is hurt? This is betrayal, Sarah. This is 10 years of marriage destroyed. This is my brother. I can't even finish. It wasn't about you, Sarah suddenly shouts. For once, something wasn't about perfect David with his perfect plans and his perfect timeline. I was lonely. Marcus listened. He saw me. I saw you every day. No, you saw your wife, the role I played, the person who fit into your life. Marcus saw me. Dr. Walsh intervenes. Let's take a step back. David, what do you need to move forward? I need this to have never happened. That's not possible. What else? I pull out the divorce papers from my jacket. I'd picked them up from Richard Brennan yesterday. Haven't signed them yet. Can't seem to make my hand do it. Choose. The family we planned or the one you created. Sarah gasps. You're not serious. I've never been more serious. The baby, David. Think about the baby. I am. I'm thinking that baby deserves honesty. Deserves to know who their real father is. Deserves better than being raised on a foundation of lies. Or deserves a father who chose to love them despite everything, who chose to stay. Dr. Walsh looks between us. You both have valid points. Sarah, can you understand why David feels unable to take on this role? No, Sarah says flatly. I can't, because the David I married wouldn't abandon a child. It's not my child to abandon. It could be, if you let it, if you chose love over pride. This isn't about pride. Then what is it about? It's about looking at that child every day and seeing your betrayal, seeing Marcus, seeing the week you chose him while I was building our future. The silence stretches. Dr. Walsh makes notes. The clock on the wall, one of those meant to be soothing with its soft tick, sounds like a countdown. Finally, I stand. I'll give you 1 week, Sarah. 1 week to decide if you want to try to save this marriage without the baby, or if you want to be a single mother. But I can't raise Marcus's child. Sarah's crying again. You're asking me to choose between my marriage and my baby. No. You already chose when you slept with my brother. I'm just asking you to live with the consequences. As I leave, I hear Dr. Walsh asking Sarah if she's safe, if she has somewhere to go. She says yes, she's staying with her mother-in-law, my mother, who's chosen her side. In the parking lot, I sit in my truck and look at the unsigned divorce papers. The house deed is in both our names, but Sarah's name is listed first. Something about her credit being better when we bought it. I never thought it mattered. Choose the family we planned or the one you created. My best friend Jake is sitting across from me at the bar, the same one where he was my best man 10 years ago, where we'd celebrated my engagement, where Marcus had given that toast about gaining a sister. You need to check something, Jake says, sliding his phone across the sticky bar surface. What is it? Just listen. He hits play on a voice recording. Sarah's voice, but drunk, slurring, background noise like a restaurant or bar. I told David we were trying for a baby. He actually believed me when I said my period was late last month. Before Vegas, I mean. So trusting. Marcus is nothing like him. Marcus is, dangerous, exciting. You know what he said? He said, if I got pregnant, David would raise it. That David always fixes everything. Always the responsible one. I grabbed the phone. Where did you get this? From Sarah's Instagram. She went live by accident last week at wine night with her friends. Saved to her stories for like an hour before she deleted it. But you know me, I screen record everything since my ex tried to gaslight me. Send it to me. Already did, but there's more, David. Check your iCloud, the shared photo album from Vegas. I pull out my phone. The album Sarah created, Vegas Girls Trip 2024, is still there. But now there are new photos, photos that weren't there before, photos that must have auto-uploaded from her phone. Marcus in a hotel room, the Venetian's distinctive decor, Sarah taking a selfie in a hotel robe, Marcus in the background, shirtless. Another, them at dinner, her hand on his across the table. Another, by the pool, his arms around her waist. She never knew her phone synced to our cloud. Jake, I need you to save all of this. Everything. Already done. Backed up in 3 places. My lawyer cousin says this could change everything regarding the divorce settlement. Proof of premeditation. Premeditation? The recording makes it sound like she planned this, or at least went along with Marcus's plan. That's fraud, buddy. Legal fraud. My phone buzzes. Text from my father. Family meeting tomorrow, 2 p.m. Our house. Everyone will be there. Then another. Time to end this properly. My parents' house smells like Sunday dinner, even though it's Saturday. Mom's stress cooking. Through the window, I can see cars already in the driveway. Aunt Rita's Buick, Uncle Tony's truck, various cousins' vehicles, and Marcus's BMW, Sarah's Honda. Dad meets me at the door. He doesn't say anything, just grips my shoulder. Hard. The kind of grip that says everything words can't. The living room is full. 23 family members by my count. Sarah's in the corner with my mother, who's holding her hand. Marcus is by the fireplace, trying to look casual. Failing. Dad stands in the center. We're here to address a situation that affects this entire family. David, Marcus, Sarah. You've each made choices. Now those choices have consequences. Aunt Rita speaks first. This is ridiculous, Thomas. Families forgive. We move forward. David needs to step up. Step up? I pull out my phone, connect it to Dad's Bluetooth speaker, the one I bought him last Christmas. Let me play something for you all. Sarah's drunk voice fills the room, the recording Jake found. Every word of it. About Marcus being exciting, about me being gullible, about their plan. Mom's hand drops from Sarah's. She actually takes a step back. There's more. I opened the photos on Dad's TV. He finally learned to use the smart features. The Vegas photos. Marcus and Sarah, together, undeniable. My cousin Anthony whistles low. That's messed up. Marcus steps forward. Those were private. Private? Like my marriage was supposed to be private? Sacred? Dad moves to stand beside me, actually physically walks across the room to my side. My father stood up and walked to my side. Marcus, Dad says, voice steady but cold. You're my son. I love you. But what you've done is unforgivable. You betrayed your brother. You destroyed a marriage. You created a life you won't take responsibility for. Dad, I'm not finished. Your mother and I have discussed this. You're no longer welcome here until you make this right. Mom starts crying. Thomas, he's our son. So is David, and David didn't destroy his brother's life. Sarah stands up, shaking. This is cruel. All of you ganging up on me. I'm pregnant. I made one mistake. One mistake? I pull out the credit card records. Charges every day for a week. Couples massage. Romantic dinners. You celebrated your affair with my brother using the credit card I pay for. Uncle Tony, usually the joker, isn't smiling. Sarah, honey, you should probably leave. You can't kick me out. I'm family. No, Dad says quietly. You were family. Now you're just the woman who hurt my son. The silence is deafening. Then, from the doorway, a voice. What the hell is going on here? Marcus's wife, Jennifer. She wasn't supposed to be here. She was supposed to be visiting her sister in Boston. His wife didn't know about any business trip. She's standing there 7 months pregnant with their second child, looking at the TV screen that's still showing the Vegas photos. Marcus, her voice is small, broken. What is this? Jen, baby, I can explain. That's Sarah, David's wife, in a hotel room, with you. It's not what it looks like. I stop him. It's exactly what it looks like, Jennifer. He slept with my wife for a week in Vegas. She's pregnant with his child. Jennifer's legs give out. Uncle Tony catches her, helps her to a chair. She's staring at Marcus like she's never seen him before. Our baby, she whispers. I'm having our baby and you. The babies will have the same father, Sarah says suddenly, viciously. Maybe they can play together. Jennifer throws up, right there on Mom's Persian rug. Mom doesn't even flinch, just goes to get towels. Get out, Dad says to Marcus. Get out of my house. Dad, get out! Marcus looks around the room. No one will meet his eyes. His own wife is sobbing into Aunt Rita's shoulder. He grabs his keys and leaves. Sarah tries to follow, but Jennifer grabs her wrist. You knew he was married. You knew we had a daughter. You knew I was pregnant. You knew, and you didn't care. Sarah yanks her arm away and runs. I hear her car start, tires squeal. Dad puts his arm around me. We don't leave family behind, son, but sometimes we have to let them leave themselves behind. Jennifer is still at my parents' house. She stopped crying, but her face is empty, hollow. I sit beside her on the couch. Did you know? She asks. Not until this week. I should have known. The late nights, the business trips, the way he'd shower immediately when he got home. This isn't your fault, Jen. I have a daughter, another baby coming. What am I supposed to do? Whatever you need to, but you should know. Sarah's baby, it's Marcus's. DNA confirmed. He has to pay support then, for both. 3 kids total. If you file for divorce first, you'll have priority claim. She looks at me for the first time, really looks. You're helping me? After what my husband, your wife. You're innocent in this. So are your kids. So is Sarah's baby. The only guilty ones are Marcus and Sarah. She pulls out her phone, scrolls to something. I have Find My iPhone on his phone. From when he said he was at that conference last month. She shows me the map. He was at your house 3 times while you were at work. My house, our bed, after I'd specifically asked. Send that to me, and to your lawyer. I don't have a lawyer. You do now. I text her Richard Brennan's number. Tell him I sent you. He'll take care of you. His wife didn't know about any business trip. 2 weeks later, Richard Brennan's office again. But this time, I'm not alone. Jennifer's here. So is her lawyer. Turns out Richard has a partner who specializes in family law with a vindictive streak. Mr. Mitchell, Mrs. Mitchell, Richard begins, then pauses. I apologize. This is confusing with both of you being Mitchells. Not for long, Jennifer says. I'm taking my maiden name back. Chen, Jennifer Chen. Ms. Chen, then, we've reviewed all the evidence, the recordings, the photos, the location data. Your husband, soon to be ex-husband, has been served with divorce papers. He's also been served with a paternity claim for Sarah Mitchell's child. I lean forward. He can't refuse? Not with the DNA evidence you provided. He's the biological father. He'll owe child support. To both Sarah and Jennifer? Correct. With Miss Chen's 2 children taking priority as they were born within marriage. Sarah's child will receive whatever the court determines after those obligations are met. Jennifer smiles for the first time. It's sharp. He makes good money. Software development? Made, Richard corrects. His company has strict morality clauses. The evidence of an affair with his brother's wife. He was terminated yesterday. Good, Jennifer and I say in unison. Richard slides papers across to me. Now for your divorce, Mr. Mitchell. Sarah has agreed to terms. She gets the house. It's primarily in her name anyway. You get your retirement accounts, the truck, and most importantly, no alimony and no child support obligations. She agreed to that? She didn't have much choice. The evidence of premeditation, the fraud aspect of trying to get you to unknowingly adopt the child. Her lawyer advised her to take the deal. I pull out my grandfather's pen from my jacket, the one he used to sign his discharge papers from the Navy, the one he used to sign the deed to his first house, the one Dad gave me when I graduated college. This pen has only signed important documents, documents that meant something, that stood for something. I sign my name, steady hand, no hesitation. I sign my name with my grandfather's pen, steady hand. Jennifer signs hers with a regular ballpoint, but her hand is just as steady. What now? She asks. Now we rebuild, I say, separately, but standing. The house, Sarah's house now, is mostly empty when I do my final walkthrough. She's there, of course, sitting in what was our living room surrounded by boxes. She's showing now, 5 months pregnant, round beneath her sweater. I'm just getting the last of my things, I say. She nods, doesn't speak. I head to the garage, my tools, my workbench, the camping gear we'd bought for trips we never took. As I'm loading boxes, I find something, the coffee mug. World's best dad. It must have been in the garage since that morning. I bring it back through the house. Sarah sees it. Her face crumbles. David, don't. I loved you. I still love you. No, you don't. You love the idea of me, the stability, the safety, but not me. Never actually me. That's not true. It is, and we both know it. I set the mug on the counter, for whoever comes next. As I'm leaving, one final box in hand, she calls out, "The baby. It's a boy. Marcus Joseph. That's what I'm naming him. After his father. How appropriate. He won't have a father. He will. Just not the one you planned." I close the door. Through the window, I see her pick up the mug, hold it, then throw it against the wall where it shatters into 100 pieces. 6 months later, the community center is loud today. 23 kids between the ages of 6 and 12, all part of the after-school program I've been volunteering with. Started coming here a month after the divorce was finalized. Needed to do something with my hands, my time, my need to nurture that had nowhere to go. Mr. David, Mr. David. Kendrick, age 7, is tugging on my shirt. Look what I drew. It's a crayon masterpiece. 2 stick figures, one tall, one small, holding hands. That's you and me, he announces. You're teaching me to ride the bike. That's beautiful, buddy. Should we put it on the art wall? No, it's for you, for your house. I take it carefully, like it's precious, because it is. The children at the center call me uncle now. I earned it. My new apartment is smaller than the house, 1 bedroom, but the walls are covered in artwork from the kids. Drawings, paintings, even a macaroni sculpture that's supposed to be a dog but looks more like abstract art. The coffee mug on my counter, gift from the center's director, reads, "Making a difference." Not world's best dad, not uncle, just acknowledgement that I'm doing something, being something. My phone buzzes. Text from Jennifer. "Kids are good. Lawyer says Marcus missed another payment. Court date next week. You were right about rebuilding." Then from Jake. "Bar tonight? Normal human adult conversation." Then from Dad. "Sunday dinner. You coming? Mom's making your favorite." Then from an unknown number. I open it. It's a photo. A baby. Dark hair. Marcus's chin. Sarah's eyes. No message. Just the photo. I delete it. Block the number. Another tug on my shirt. This time it's Amaya, age 9. "Mr. David, can you help with my homework?" "Of course. What subject?" "Family tree project. But I don't know some of my family." "That's okay. Family isn't just blood, you know. It's the people who choose to show up for you." "Then can I put you on it? As my volunteer uncle?" My throat tightens. I'd be honored. As I help her with the project, I notice my reflection in the window. I look different than I did 8 months ago, lighter somehow. The gray at my temples is more pronounced, but my smile, when Kendrick makes a joke, is real. There's a package at the front desk when I'm leaving, no return address. Inside, an envelope. Sarah's handwriting. I don't open it. Don't need to. Instead, I drop it in the recycling bin by the door. The director, Mrs. Williams, stops me. "David, we're looking for someone to head up the summer camp program. Interested?" "Full-time." "Part-time, but with potential to grow. These kids adore you. You're good at this. Natural father material, even if I'm not actually a father. Especially because you chose to be here, not out of obligation, out of love." I think about it. The software consulting I've been doing pays well, but feels empty. These kids, this purpose, fills something I didn't know was hollow. Yes, I'm interested. Good. We don't leave our kids without good role models. We don't leave. There it is again. But this time it means something different. Not about staying in a toxic situation, but about showing up for those who need you, choosing your family, building your own life. The children at the center call me uncle now. I earned it. As I walk to my truck, I pass a shop window. Inside, coffee mugs on display. One catches my eye. I chose me. Simple, direct, true. I buy it. That night in my apartment, I make coffee in my new mug. The walls are covered in children's art. My phone has messages from people who actually care about me. The divorce papers are filed away, not hidden, just part of history. I'm not the man who was betrayed anymore. I'm not the almost father to a child that wasn't mine. I'm not the ex-husband clinging to what was. I'm the man who chose himself, who chose truth over comfort, who chose to rebuild rather than remain in rubble, who found family in unexpected places. The mug is warm in my hands. I chose me. And every morning, I choose that choice again. Every morning, I choose that choice again. If you've made it this far, you know that choosing yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. Share your own story of choosing yourself over a situation that was destroying you. And remember, family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's the people who show up after everyone else has left. The ones who see you for who you really are, not who they need you to be. What moment made you realize you had to choose yourself? Drop a comment below. Your story might help someone else find the courage to choose themselves too. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, someone struggling with their own betrayal, their own impossible choice, share this with them. Sometimes the greatest act of love is letting go of what was never really yours.